Hello and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out here for you. So the IRGC, that's Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps, it's Iran's military, seized an Israeli affiliated container ship. As you can see in this video, those are commandos dropping down from that helicopter, seizing this container ship. Now, supposedly this is an Israeli flagged ship, or Israeli affiliated, excuse me, but it's Portuguese flagged, named the MSC Aries. So here's a photo of it for you. There's a picture in reference. This is a container ship that was seized. Okay. So this is major escalation here coming from Iran. And just yesterday, I was reporting that Israel was coming under rocket attack from Hezbollah. I believe like two major barrages were fired, well over 100 rockets launched towards northern Israel yesterday. And we thought that there was going to be some sort of response coming from Iran soon. I do have some information that Iran is moving missiles, apparently, and drones over towards Israel, closer to Israel, possibly in preparation for an attack. But this is more escalation coming from Iran, that Iran's not messing around anymore and they're starting to get involved. And it's not just the Houthis or Hezbollah, their proxy groups that are causing mayhem anymore. Now Iran is starting to get involved. So again, this is a Portuguese flagged but Israeli linked ship, and apparently it's part of an Israeli billionaire, Eyal Ofer's Zodiac Group. Okay, so an Israeli billionaire owns this ship or has affiliation with it, and Israel has been using the shipping lane as well near the Strait of Hormuz, which is where this happened at. I'll show you on a map right now where this happened, and they use this shipping lane as well right here on this map. These are the two shipping lanes that go to Israel, is the Red Sea, and then here's the Bab al-Mandeb Strait right here. Okay, so this gets attacked a lot by the Houthis. The Houthis control a large portion of the western side of Yemen, and they target ships that go through here if they're Israeli linked. And then also now over here, this is the Strait of Hormuz, okay, right here, Strait of Hormuz, right here by the UAE and Dubai. This is where that seized ship happened, this container ship that you see on your screen. Okay, so it happened just right here in this area next to Iran, okay? Iran is literally right here next to the Strait of Hormuz. And now what are we going to see? Are we going to see Iran shut down this shipping lane too? Or are they going to start either targeting ships here or maybe seizing more ships, kind of doing what the Houthis are doing, but maybe just not so aggressive, maybe actually just trying to seize them more often? We'll have to see what their response is going to be, but this is already major escalation. We've got lots of reports. The U.S. is coming out telling them to release the ship immediately. There was about at least 17 Indian nationals on board this ship that were taken as well. So again, major escalation here. Let's go ahead and get right into this. On ABC News, Iran's Revolutionary Guard seizes a container ship near Strait of Hormuz amid tensions with Israel. Commandos from Iran's paramilitary Revolutionary Guard rappelled from a helicopter onto an Israeli-affiliated container ship near the Strait of Hormuz and seized the vessel Saturday in the latest attack between the two countries. The seizure followed a suspected Israeli strike this month on an Iranian consular building in Syria that killed 12 people, including a senior guard general. Israel's war on Hamas in the Gaza Strip has inflamed decades-old tensions across the region, with Iranian-backed forces like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Yemen's Houthi rebels also involved in the fighting. Any new attack in the Middle East threatens to escalate that conflict into a wider regional war. Iran's state-run IRNA said a special forces unit of the Guards Navy carried out the attack on the Portuguese-flagged MSC Aries, a container ship associated with London-based Zodiac Maritime. Zodiac Maritime is a part of Israeli billionaire Eyal Ofer's Zodiac Group. Zodiac declined to comment and referred questions to MSC. Geneva-based MSC acknowledged the seizure and said 25 crew members were on the ship. Okay, so we had 25 actually. We are working closely with the relevant authorities to ensure their well-being and safe return of the vessel, MSC said. An Indian government official speaking on condition of anonymity because he was not authorized to brief to journalists said 17 of the crew members were Indians. Okay, IRNA said the guard would take the vessel into Iranian territorial waters. A Middle East defense official who spoke on condition of anonymity to discuss intelligence matters provided video of the attack to the Associated Press, and the Iranian commandos are seen rappelling onto a stack of containers on the vessel's deck. Crew member can be heard saying, "Don't come out." He then tells his colleagues to go to the ship's bridge as more commandos come down. One commando can be seen kneeling above the others to provide them potential cover fire. Video corresponded with known details of the MSC Aries. Also, the commandos repelled from what appeared to be a Soviet-era MiL Mi-17 helicopter, which both the Guard and Iranian-backed Houthis have used before to raid ships. The British military United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations described the vessel as being seized by regional authorities in the Gulf of Oman of the Emirati port of Fujairah without elaborating. Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz called on nations to list the Guard as a terrorist organization. So this foreign minister is calling for the RGC to be listed as a terrorist organization due to them seizing this ship here. Iran is a criminal regime that supports Hamas. Crimes is now conducting a pirate operation in the violation of international law, Katz said. For days, Iranian officials up to and including Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei have threatened to slap Israel for the Syria strike. So we're still waiting on Iran to respond to this Iranian consulate that was destroyed in Syria just about a week and a half ago, something like that. And they still have not really responded directly yet, but we are seeing them escalate tensions here because now they're seizing this ship here in the Strait of Hormuz, which is major escalation because obviously this is an Israeli-linked or affiliated ship, and this is going to be threatening to completely blockade Israel from receiving any supplies, okay? Already the ships that go through the Red Sea have already been targeted by the Houthis, and now if they start targeting ships here in the Strait of Hormuz, this could put a major blockade on Israel and force their economy to struggle even further. So I've got more information we're going to be going over here. I have a few X posts that we'll take a look at here. Let me get this up for you. And let's take a look. So this one's from Megatron. Iran seized the Israeli ship MSC Aries in the Strait of Hormuz. This is a big game changer. This once again is confirming that the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Qatar are helping Israel bypass the Houthi blockade by land route from the UAE port. Iran is now cutting that route as well. If Hezbollah cut the Mediterranean route with its drones, Israel could fall into complete trade blockade. Okay, so let's take a look at this here in this picture. These are two land routes that are being used by Israel right now. So they'll transport through Jordan, through Saudi Arabia, by trucks over to, looks like Bahrain and the UAE, and they use these ports to transport ships, this way through the Strait of Hormuz, okay? And now, if Iran starts to target this shipping lane here, and they're not able to transport anything through here anymore, this is going to put a major blockade on Israel because they're not really able to go through here anymore, which is the Red Sea, okay? The Red Sea and then the Gulf of Aden, the Bab al-Mandeb Strait down here. I know there's really nothing here, but this is supposed to be like part of Africa over here. And then this is a small shipping lane here through the Red Sea. So if they cut this off through the Red Sea and they cut off the Strait of Hormuz, it's going to completely hammer Israel's economy because they won't be able to afford to have all their ships going around, down this way to Africa. Okay, they have to find a way for this to work. And right now, Iran is starting to cut this route. Okay, so this is really big. And I think this is one more step that Iran is taking now to get more involved in this war. Maybe they're not quite ready to strike Israel just yet. Maybe they're leaving that as a last resort. But maybe they're trying to find other ways in the meantime to destroy the state of Israel without having to actually launch any missiles or anything like that and actually start a war. I think that's what Iran's trying to do right now. Okay, so let's also take a look at this one from suppressed news. The Israeli army, Iran will bear the consequences of escalation after it seized a container ship. Our response is ready. So this is Daniel Hagari, the rear admiral of the IDF. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video and see what he has to say.
Iran funds, trains, and arms terror proxies across the Middle East and beyond. Iran-backed Hamas started this war on October 7th. Iran-backed Hezbollah expanded this war on October 8th. And since then, Iran-backed militias in Iraq and Syria and Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen have expanded this into a global conflict. Iran is the world's biggest state sponsor of terror. Its network of terror doesn't just threaten the people of Israel, Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria. The regime in Iran fuels the war in Ukraine and beyond. Iran will bear the consequences for choosing to escalate the situation any further. Israel is on high alert. We have increased our readiness to protect Israel from further Iranian aggression. We are also prepared to respond. The Israel Defense Forces prepared for all scenarios, and we will take the necessary steps, together with our allies, to protect the people of Israel.
Okay, so as you can see there, they are ready to prepare their country to go to war, to respond against Iran, to do whatever they have to do to defend the state of Israel, because, again, there's a major attack supposedly that's coming from Iran. I'm still trying to figure out why they're delaying it so long. We were expecting this to happen a little bit sooner. I almost thought this was going to happen yesterday. I thought what would happen would be Hezbollah would exhaust the IDF's air defense, their Iron Dome. And after that, I would think that's when they would launch their major attack from Iran with their ballistic missiles or whatever they might use. But they haven't done that yet. So it looks like Iran might be thinking of other ways to maybe go after Israel and take them down without actually starting a war. That's what it seems like they're trying to do. So let's take a look at this too. IRGC's capture of Israeli ship causes major supply issues. IRGC has seized an Israeli-affiliated vessel in the Strait of Hormuz, heightening tensions in the region. The capture upset Israeli Foreign Minister Israel Katz. Iran is conducting a pirate operation in violation of international law. The incident disrupts a crucial supply route previously utilized by Israel with support from countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Qatar to circumvent the blockade. So here's some pictures for you. So just more information showing here that obviously there's more countries here in the Middle East that are helping Israel to circumvent this blockade from the Houthis down in the Red Sea. Okay, so they're trying to go through, again, Saudi Arabia over to Bahrain and also the UAE to continue getting supplies. But it looks like the RGC is going to be trying to disrupt that supply chain there. So here's from Iran Observer, breaking. U.S. says Iran must immediately release seized Israeli container ship. The U.S. Fifth Fleet stationed in Bahrain did not react when Iran seized the container ship. So it's very interesting because obviously the U.S. has allies in the Middle East, okay? And these countries that are supposedly friendly with like Israel and the United States, they almost kind of seem like they're in the middle a little bit, because just yesterday as well, I was reporting that Kuwait was announcing to a delegation from Israel and the United States, telling them that they would not allow the U.S. to use Kuwait or Qatar's airfields to launch attacks on Iran. So it's kind of like they're friends with the U.S. and the West and Israel, but in a way they're not, because they're like, no, we just don't want any war. That's what it seems like. They just don't want to be involved in war. They don't want their country targeted by Iran, because obviously they're right next to Iran too, many of these countries, and then they could become targets by Iran too, and they don't want that. Okay, they don't want the U.S. stirring up conflict in their countries when they have everything to risk, basically, and the U.S. doesn't, because they're so far away from Iran. So I thought that was interesting. I wanted to share that information with you. But yeah, the U.S. is coming out and saying they should immediately release that seized container ship. Okay, so finally, Just want to show you this here as well. From Ignis Rex, Iran has seized Israel-owned commercial vessel in the Strait of Hormuz. If this is how Iran is going to escalate against Israel by detaining and seizing Israeli-owned vessels going through the Strait of Hormuz, that means Israeli ship will be blocked from using the Red Sea by the Houthis and the Strait of Hormuz by Iran. That means the Israeli ships will be blocked from two of the most important choke points in the world that account for 50% of world trade. So I wanted you to see that. 50% of world trade. Okay, says brilliant moves by Iran. Yeah, again, if they knock these two trade routes out and they can no longer be used, that's 50% of the world trade that can be destroyed just by these two shipping lanes getting shut down. So again, I wanted you to see that. I know it's kind of repetitive information a little bit, but it's critical to understand that these two choke points here, if they get shut off, it will definitely impact the world. Not only Israel, it will impact the entire world when it comes to shipping, okay, which can put a major strain on economies. And this will definitely lead to some sort of major war here in the Middle East if the US and other countries and Europe can no longer get the trade supplies that they need that normally come through these shipping lanes. So that's going to be it for this update. Just wanted to get that information out there to you. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. And if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.